Yes, I faked my pregnancy. And yes, I rented a baby to keep the lie alive. I can already hear the judgment through the screen. Monster, manipulator, psychopath. Maybe you're right. Maybe I deserve all of it. I'm writing this from a motel room off the motorway where the wallpaper is peeling and the vending machine outside won't stop humming. My husband, no, my ex-husband, found out 2 nights ago. I haven't slept since. Every time my phone buzzes, I think it's him. Or worse, my mother. I keep scrolling through old texts, screenshots, receipts, as if proof of how this started could somehow make it less insane. It doesn't. The thing is, I wasn't trying to scam him. I wasn't after money or sympathy or attention from strangers online. I was trying to save us. Luke and I were already fading, living like polite roommates who forgot how to touch each other. We used to be the kind of couple people envied. Then life happened. The miscarriages, the failed IVF, the long silences where even breathing felt like a reminder of what we'd lost. And then one day, I lied. It just slipped out. I'm pregnant. His face lit up in a way I hadn't seen in years. In that moment, the lie felt like oxygen. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd find a way to make it right before it went too far. But lies don't stop growing once you plant them. They take root. They bloom. And before you realize it, you're living inside them. I never meant to trick him forever, just long enough to make him love me again. Luke and I had been married 6 years, long enough to know each other's rhythms, but too long to remember when they last matched. We were the couple people called solid, the kind who hosted dinner parties and smiled through small talk, even when everything underneath was crumbling. On paper, we had a good life, a small house, steady jobs, health insurance, plans for a family. But behind our front door was a silence so heavy it had its own gravity. It started after the first miscarriage. I was 12 weeks along, long enough to start picking names, long enough to believe it was finally happening. Then it wasn't. The second loss came faster. The third barely had time to exist. Our home turned into a museum of grief. Unopened boxes of baby clothes, ultrasound photos tucked away in drawers I couldn't open. Every time I looked at Luke, I saw the future I'd stolen from him. He stopped touching me like a lover and started treating me like a patient. He'd say, "It's okay, we'll try again." But his voice always cracked on the word try. Eventually, he stopped saying anything at all. He buried himself in work. I buried myself in fertility blogs and late-night forums where women clung to strangers for comfort. Somewhere between hormone charts and IVF advice, I found threads about reborn therapy, lifelike baby dolls that helped grieving mothers cope. It sounded crazy, but so did living like a ghost inside my own body. The night before our 6th anniversary, I felt the distance between us like a physical ache. I told him I wasn't feeling well. When he asked if it could be that time of the month, I lied without thinking. Actually, I think I might be pregnant. The way his face lit up broke something inside me. For the first time in months, he looked at me. Really looked at me. Not with pity, but with joy. And that's how it started. One small lie that felt like love. That night, I stayed up scrolling through forums again, searching for anything that could help me keep the illusion going. That was the first time I saw a comment about reborn rentals for photo shoots. And the first time I thought maybe pretending could feel like hope. Once the words left my mouth, I think I might be pregnant. There was no going back. At first, it was just small lies, a casual mention of morning sickness, a vague complaint about feeling tired. But lies are greedy things. They multiply fast. Before I knew it, I was researching pregnancy symptoms so I could mimic them convincingly. I downloaded baby tracking apps, learned medical jargon from YouTube obstetricians, even started timing fake doctor appointments. Then I ordered the belly. It came in a plain box, no instructions, just a flesh-toned silicone half-moon that stuck to my stomach with medical adhesive. I remember standing in the mirror, pressing it against my skin and feeling my hands shake. I told myself it was temporary, just until I figured out how to come clean. But then Luke saw it. He came home early one day, caught me in the kitchen in a loose dress. The fake bump visible for the first time. His face, it was like watching someone find faith again. He dropped his bag and just wrapped his arms around me, his palms resting gently where the silicone met skin. For the first time in years, I felt like his wife again. After that, he became the man I married, rubbing my back when I said my hips hurt, running out at midnight for ice cream when I invented cravings. Every lie made him love me more, and every ounce of love made me double down on the lie. When my friends threw a baby shower, I almost fainted from the panic. There were gifts, laughter, a giant pink cake with mom-to-be written in frosting. I smiled, posed for photos, accepted tiny clothes I'd never use. The neighbor across the street had a newborn, a real one. I offered to help babysit so I could practice. The first time she let me hold the baby, I couldn't stop staring. The warmth, the smell of milk and powder, the gentle weight in my arms. I took selfies when no one was looking. Later that night, I made a private photo album on my phone and titled it Ours. I started avoiding my friends after that, canceling checkups, faking ultrasound images I found online. Pinterest and Google became my accomplices. Every time I hit save, I told myself it was for love. But love doesn't make your hands shake like that. It doesn't hollow you out from the inside. I barely slept. My stomach, under all that silicone, started to ache from guilt, like my body knew it was wearing a lie. I lost weight. My skin went pale. Even Luke started to notice. One night, he pressed his ear against my belly and smiled. "She's kicking," he said softly. I nodded, my throat closing. He kept touching my stomach like he could feel something. Maybe he could, just not what he thought. By the time my fake due date crept near, I was barely functioning. Every day felt like walking toward a cliff I'd built myself. My fake bump sat heavy on my skin. My lies stacked higher than the nursery boxes piled in the corner. I'd told Luke the baby might come early. A high-risk pregnancy, I said. He panicked in the way that made me feel needed again, hovering over me, fussing over every imaginary symptom. But panic doesn't delay reality. He kept asking when we should go to the hospital. I kept saying, soon. Then I found her. On one of the parenting forums I haunted at night, someone mentioned a real baby photo shoot service. Parents could rent out their newborns for brand shoots, baby clothes, bassinets, formula ads. It sounded insane, but the woman I messaged was calm, professional. "Just a few hours," she said. "You can hold her, take pictures, whatever you need, $200 cash." I told myself I'd fix it tomorrow, that I'd explain somehow. But tomorrow came with a text message. She arrived that afternoon, a stranger with a soft-spoken voice and a newborn wrapped in pink. My hands trembled when she placed the baby in my arms. Warm, breathing, real. Then Luke came home early. He walked in with grocery bags and stopped dead. I didn't even have time to think. I just looked up, tears spilling, and whispered, "She's here." His face crumpled. He dropped everything and fell to his knees beside me, hands shaking as he touched the baby's cheek. He sobbed into my lap, whispering, "You did it. You actually did it." In that moment, the lie became a living thing. For 2 days, we lived inside that fantasy. He brought flowers, made soup, took photos of us. He held the baby at night while I pretended to sleep, whispering plans about her first steps, her school, her future. And I let him. I told myself it was just for photos, just to make the story believable before I figured out how to lose the baby. "Where is my baby? You're late. If you don't return her, I'm calling the police." My blood turned cold. I told Luke I had to take the baby for a checkup, that the doctor wanted to see her early. He offered to drive us. I panicked, said the baby needed rest, that the hospital was crowded. He finally relented. I drove across town sobbing, handed the baby back, and collapsed in the car park shaking so hard I could barely breathe. When I got home, Luke was waiting at the table. He wasn't angry, just quiet. He held up a business card. "My coworker's wife is a pediatrician," he said. "She wants to check on the baby tomorrow." My vision blurred, my ears rang. That's when I knew the lie wasn't ending. It was being autopsied. The next morning, Luke said he was going to the office. He kissed my forehead, the first time he'd done that in months, and told me to rest. I almost believed him. But hours later, when I called his phone, it went straight to voicemail. I told myself he was in a meeting. Then I told myself he was running errands. Then the truth started whispering. He was checking. When I heard his car in the driveway that evening, I knew. You can always feel it when a lie has died. He walked in holding nothing. No flowers, no dinner, just silence. He sat across from me and placed two things on the table: the fake ultrasound and the silicone belly I'd hidden in the closet under a pile of sweaters. "I went to the hospital," he said quietly. "They have no record of you, no record of us, no baby." My throat closed. I started babbling, reaching for words, explanations, anything that could patch over the wreckage. I needed to feel like us again," I said. "Like the version of you that used to look at me and actually see me. I didn't mean for it to—" He didn't raise his voice, didn't throw anything, didn't even look angry. "You didn't lose a baby," he said. "You lost me." He took out his phone then, opened the camera, pressed record. "I need you to say it," he murmured. "For legal reasons. Just in case you try anything." That broke something in me, hearing my husband speak like I was dangerous, like I was someone you had to protect yourself from. He packed while I cried, folded shirts, zipped the suitcase. The baby clothes in the nursery stayed untouched, a graveyard for something that never lived. When he left, he didn't slam the door. He just closed it softly, like you do when someone's finally asleep or dead. When Luke left, he didn't just take his things. He took the story with him. And when people only hear one version, they start filling in the blanks themselves. My mother called 2 days later. Her voice was tight, clipped. "He told me what you did," she said. "Do you understand the shame you've brought on this family? You've humiliated us." She didn't ask if I was okay. She didn't need to. She'd already decided I wasn't. By the end of the week, the neighbors knew. They always do. Someone wrote a post on a local gossip page. "Woman fakes pregnancy for sympathy. Husband finds out." It spread faster than truth ever could. A tabloid even emailed me asking for comment. Then the woman from the rental service messaged again, threatening to press charges for kidnapping. I sold my car to pay her off before it got worse. When the HR department at my office invited me to talk, I knew that was the end of that too. My job gone, my marriage gone, my name reduced to a punchline. Nights are the hardest. I still keep the baby blanket folded on my bed, the one Luke bought weeks before everything fell apart. Sometimes, half asleep, I swear I hear crying. I wake up drenched in sweat, clutching that blanket like it's real. I started therapy because the court suggested it. The therapist listens politely but doesn't hide her judgment. "You need to accept the harm you caused," she says. And maybe she's right. Because when I strip away the madness, the planning, the silicone, and the lies, it wasn't about money or cruelty. I was just trying to bring back the version of us that believed in miracles. The fake baby saved my marriage for 96 hours. Then it killed everything else. It's been 9 months since everything came crashing down. Long enough for the world to move on, but not long enough for me to forget. I'm writing this now because silence feels heavier than the truth. I made this throwaway account hoping someone, somewhere, might understand that what I did wasn't born from evil. It was born from emptiness. You can call it madness. Maybe it was. But grief and loneliness can twist your mind until even the unthinkable starts to make sense. I used to think love could survive anything, that as long as I wanted it enough, I could rebuild it. But you can lie yourself into love, you just can't stay there. Luke deserves peace. I don't want it from him. I just want him to have it. If he ever reads this, I hope he's sleeping through the night again without ghosts rattling in his head. I volunteer now at the neonatal unit downtown. It started as community service, but I never left. I spend my evenings rocking babies that aren't mine, their cries cutting straight through me. Soft reminders of everything I wanted and destroyed trying to get it. The nurses say I have a calming touch. If only they knew what it cost me to earn it. Sometimes, when a baby curls its fingers around mine, I have to bite my lip to keep from crying. Every lie starts with love. That's what makes it so easy to believe. I didn't fake a pregnancy to steal a man. I did it to remember what being loved felt like. But love built on a rented heartbeat was never going to last.